Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how to homeschool in the state of Pennsylvania. And you can see that I have a lot of tabs open, so we're going to be going over a lot of things today. We're going to start with the Hslda website. And if you think you might need legal assistance or you have legal questions, you might want to join the Hslda because it's only $10 or $12 a month. And so it might be a good idea. And it says in Pennsylvania you have several legal options under which you may choose to operate your homeschool program. Follow the steps listed below the option you wish to choose. So option 1 is homeschooling under the homeschool statute. And it says you have to ensure that you have the required qualifications to teach. So that's at least a high school diploma or its equivalent, such like a GED. You have to file a notarized affidavit with the local superintendent before you start your homeschool program, and by August 1st of each year after that, an affidavit form is available for Hslda members below. The affidavit must include the following information: the name of the parent, name and age of the child, address, telephone number, assurance that subjects are taught in English, outline of proposed educational objectives by subject area, evidence of immunization, evidence of health and medical services required by law, certification that the home education program will comply with that statute, a certification that the supervisor, all adults living within the home, and persons having legal custody of the child have not been convicted of certain criminal offenses within the past 5 years. And you can look up to see what that is. You must have your home education program approved by a state certified special. If your student has been identified under with disabilities. So you can read all of this. I'm not going to read all of this to you. It also says you must teach at least 180 days or 900 hours at elementary school, and the hours you must teach at the other levels. And there's the subjects that you must teach. There's quite a long list. So you can go through that. And it also states that you must maintain a portfolio, and it must include required testing. So it must have a log. The log must be made contemporaneously with the instruction and designate by title the reading materials used. Student work samples, and these samples can be writing, worksheets, workbooks, or creative materials used or developed by the student. Standardized testing, and you must have your child tested with a national norm standardized test approved by the Pennsylvania Department of Education. The test results in, so there it goes on, and it gives you the approved tests. So, and I'm going to go over if you're creating a portfolio or a binder, some of the things you might want to put, like if you're giving them an assessment test that you got off the internet or somewhere at the beginning of the year to go over what they've learned to see what level they're on, you might want to throw that in there. Your state homeschool laws, you probably want to print that out, put the date on it, throw it in there. Copies of any forms that you had to file with the school and proof, if you can, of those. A couple of calendars. Brainstorming your favorite resources like websites or workbooks. And then the actual list of resources you're going to use, like an online curriculum and a workbook, and a list of field trips you plan to take. You might want to print out contents from web pages like iExcel that show the activities they're going to be doing in the curriculum, or the contents from a workbook, or both. If you're going to use both, you might be using 3 hours from a website and an hour from a workbook, so that you show the curriculum and the list of activities. Sample work that the student does. You might want to have the student create their own binder or portfolio as part of a school project, and you have one. And that way they can look back and take pride on their work. And a student would probably want to showcase their best work, where you might want to show progressive work or a variety of skills. And there's different types of binders or portfolios, and you can choose which one you want to create. A proof of field trips taken, you can have a flyer or a leaflet and put the date on it, take photos maybe or video, have the student write a paper about the field trip, even if it's just what they enjoyed the most. A weekly schedule. You might want to put that in the binder as well. Daily log of activities. You might want to put you can write that in a notebook and then type it up into WordPad and email it to yourself, and then so you don't lose it if your computer crashes. Print it out every now and then, an updated one, and put it in the portfolio or binder. And a daily log of activities would be like day 1, the date, like August 5th, the time, the subject, and the activity that they're doing within the subject, and the name of the website or the workbook. So, like day 1, August 5th, 8 o'clock, IXL, math, they're, counting by tens or whatever. And that way it shows the day 1, day 2, day 3, and that way it shows how many days you schooled them without having to add it up. It also shows the date. It shows the hours that you spent teaching them. The last subject of the day, you're going to want to put the start and end time of that subject. And then it shows the workbook or the website they're using, and it also shows the activity that they're doing. So it's excellent information to have in your portfolio or your binder. Any tests or quizzes, or if they do self-evaluation, you might create assessments every now and then, like every 6 to 8 weeks. You might create an assessment in every subject and the year end, and make sure you put a positive spin on anything negative. Like if they're struggling with their reading, but they have a positive attitude, you can put that in there. And at the end of the year, you can put they went up 5 levels in reading, and you think it was because they had such a positive attitude and worked so hard. That way, when they look back, they can take pride in their work. Any standardized tests that they take every year, you want to throw that in there. If they're doing volunteer work, you can create certificates or have people write things up and put the volunteer work in the portfolio or the binder, especially if they want to go to college or join the military, so they show the volunteer work. If they're taking classes outside the home, like swimming at the YMCA, art classes at a local museum, yoga classes, or anything like that, you might want to have certificates or something written up to show that as well and put it in your portfolio or your binder. Any contacts with emails, phone numbers, addresses for school or support groups, you can put that in there. If you're going to have them do career study field trips, you might want to have them create questions like, how much education did they need to get the job that they have? What kind of computer usage are they doing? Emails or presentations? What kind of skills they need, like problem solving skills, leadership skills, organizing skills. And you can see if they can record audio or video footage for the student use, and have them later write it down and put that in the binder or portfolio. And this will help them when they're choosing a career, knowing the kind of education they need, or even just with interviews and their communication skills. So you can put that in there. If you're going to grade your students, which most homeschool students are not grading, you can decide how you're going to grade them, if you're going to using averages or some kind of a point system. And some people put points and averages for things like attendance, following directions, effort, being focused, preparation, participation, discussion, completing work, creative thinking or originality, open book tests, extra credit work, quizzes, and tests. And some people don't like to grade every page and assignment, but instead they'll go over what they did for the week and create grades. So it's up to you if you want to grade your student and how you want to grade them. When you go to create the objectives, I'm going to show you some websites on that, but it says, a lot of them say that you should be more vague when you're creating that, and they have you use words like you're going to have them review, or to continue to introduce new skills or information, or to continue to expose them to new information or various aspects on the subject, or to continue to explore new terms, or to continue to study concepts and topics within the subject, to continue to work in order to improve skills within that subject, or to increase vocabulary and knowledge within that subject area. And they use terms like that, and they all try to mention and include each of the subjects that have to be taught at that grade level when they do that. So we're going to go over that as well. And that's something that you might want to put in your portfolio as well. And this says that you can have your child evaluated by a qualified evaluator and submit the evaluator's certification to the superintendent by June 30th. And it says that your child's portfolio must be submitted for an yearly written evaluation by a licensed psychologist or a teacher certified by the state with 2 years of teaching experience or a non-public school teacher administrator. And there's more information on that. That goes on and on. It talks about moving from one school district to another. And there's option 2 that you could use with a private tutor. And you can pause the video to read that if you like. And there's the one if you're going to use a satellite of a religious day school, and you can read that. And here's a satellite or accredited day or boarding school, so that you have that information. And this is an excellent website. It's askpauline.com, and it says the affidavit. It talks about affidavit deadlines, filing dates, and there's a lot of useful information on this website. I love this website, so I thought I would include it. And it gives you it talks about the certification about criminal convictions. It talks about the immunizations, the educational objectives that must be included with the affidavit. And then it gives you different websites that will give you sample objectives so that you can go to these websites to see how they write up these objectives. And they're very minimal, and it's more like they're actually listing goals instead of objectives, and you'll see that. But you can use that because they can't refuse it apparently. So, and that will give you some ideas and help you if you're having problems with that. Don't let them scare you out of not being able to fill out the form. Just go to her website and check out these different links, because I had looked for links and then I saw that she had included so many links on her website, and it was some of the ones that I had seen. And this is an excellent resource so that you can go to it and see it. So this will give you some ideas for filling that out. And this is one of them. It talks about different objectives that you can put down. It talks about English. You're going to be utilizing the library, reading a wide variety of books and other types of literature. Continue to improve spelling, grammar, reading, and writing skills. So you can see that it includes the subjects, but it's more like goals instead of objectives. So this is what it's saying, that you could use something like this. So, and I'll go to another one to show you. That way you have some ideas to be able to fill that out, so you're not lost and confused at that, because it might seem overwhelming. And this is the Education Law Center Homeschooling in Pennsylvania. It's a fact sheet that you can go and look up. I don't know if you're going to be able to type in that address that's up in the address bar, but I will scroll down and you can pause it and you can read it, so that this might help you as well, because it's better to have more information than less. And there's links in it as well. And this one is if you're homeschooling and you want to give your student an assessment at the beginning of the year to see where they're at. This has different tests that you can save as a PDF, or you can print them out to give to your students, and you can see what they are here in the blue. They've got Bible, history, geography, language arts, math, science. And that helps you to create a plan of what you're going to teach your students. So here's one of them, and you can print it out. You don't have to print out all the pages. You can save it as a PDF and print out what you need, but you can see if they're making simple mistakes and you can go over it with them, or you can see if they're getting stuck in certain areas so you know what they need to review or what level they're at when you go to create the plan of teaching them for the year. And you can have them do this and throw that in your portfolio or binder. This does not take the place of the standardized test. This is just to help you create a plan at the beginning of the year for your students. And this website also shows some assessment tests, and she has a lot of great resources. So I wanted to include this website for you as well. And you can see the address in the upper left-hand corner of the page. So, and you can go over and check this out. This website is, if it's from Alaska, but if you're trying to brainstorm and create a list of books and materials you're going to need for homeschooling for the year, you can see how this is, and you can create you can create it and put the names of the books or the workbooks, the names of the websites you plan on using. You can brainstorm and just put your favorite ones in there, and then you can go back and highlight the ones you're going to use, or you can create a separate list of the ones you're going to use, and then you can look back on it and see your favorite ones in case you want to use something different at the end of the year or next year. So this is a great resource. I thought it might help you. This right here is a homeschool attendance record that I got from North Carolina. You can see the address in the upper left-hand corner, and you can print this out and fill it out. You can put a tentative calendar of the days that you plan on having school and field trips and holidays, and then even going to school, they'll have snow days. So then you can go back, and as you have school, you can mark it off as well so that you have 2 of them. And you can put that in your binder or your portfolio. And this is a complete curriculum, and it's not free. It's like $20 a month, I believe. But I just wanted to show you how easy this one is to print out the activities or the curriculum. So if you're doing your daily log and you put day 1, the math and the time that you use in IXL.com, you can put even or odd, and day 2, even or odd arithmetic rules, and then skip counting and skip counting puzzles. And these are the activities that they're doing within that subject, so that you can put that in your daily log. And this is Khan Academy, and it is free for everyone, everywhere. It's complete curriculum, and it starts from pre-K and goes all the way up to college, and it's an excellent website. This is All-in-One Homeschool, which is another one that is free at this time, and it's also an excellent website, so you can check it out because it's also complete curriculum, and it also has additional ones, and it uses a variety of websites. It might be doing reading at one website, math at another, and history at another, so it's great fun. This one is not complete curriculum. I just wanted to show you. This is if you want to add to your curriculum, and it's Schoolhouse Rock. You may have heard of it, but maybe you didn't know it includes grammar, science, economics, history, mathematics, and civics. And you can find this for free and YouTube video playlists at this time. And it's excellent because the kids will sing along and they will memorize the songs, and so they will learn it much faster. And this shows the subjects in the left-hand corner, and you can see, and it doesn't just teach multiplication. They have some math with addition and stuff. So it teaches the multiplication tables there, and then you can see the grammar rock. It teaches the parts of speech. So they sing and they memorize and they know it by heart, which one's the noun, which one's the verb, adjective, adverb. So it's easier to teach it because they know that. And this is America Rock, and it teaches about American independence, the Revolutionary War, immigration, branches of government, and then so much more. And there's Science Rock that covers so many different things, and there's another science one as well too, and I will scroll down to show you that. And this one is the Money Rock, which teaches them about budgeting and stock exchange. And this is the other science one, which is Earth Rock, that teaches them climate change, well, oceans, rainforests. You can pick and choose the videos you want them to listen to and learn the songs, but it's just an excellent way to teach them, and it adds to your curriculum. This is coreknowledge.org, and you can go check it out. It has different grade levels so that you can see what they have to offer and see if it's one that you like or one that you don't. There's so many resources that it's hard to put them all in one video. So this one is readworks.org. And I think this is an excellent resource as well. But, you have to go through and see what there is and see what your favorites are and what your students are. Because you might only end up using, a few of them. This is PBS. So you can see the website address in the upper left-hand corner. But it's PBS Learning Media. And it has a lot. So you can go and check this one out as well, because you're always, there's so many variety of things you might be wanting them to learn. And this one is bestedlessons.org, and this one is a spelling word list. So if you're looking for spelling word lists for your students, you can just find one and pick it and use their word list. And then you can create your own exercises with the word list, like maybe one day you have them writing the definition of the words, another day writing a couple synonyms, another day trying to use them in a sentence, and then give them spelling tests a couple times a week or quizzes. Or you can just, as they're writing, if they're having problems with certain words, you can have them use those words and create activities for them. So that's just an idea. And this is Project Gutenberg, and it has books if you'd like to read to your students or have them read. You can go on there, and it's very user-friendly, and you just click how you want to read the book, and then the book's right there. So, and that's an excellent resource as well. This one is en.childrenslibrary.org, and it's International Children's Digital Library, and it has, I think, around 5,000 books, but it also has different editions if they came out with different editions of one book. And you just click on it and you go to it and you can read it or have your students read it. And you can turn the page to the right or the left after you click on it from the upper right hand corner. And if you don't want to go to the library but you need books and you don't have room for any more books in your house, or you don't want your house cluttered with books, this is an excellent place to find books. If you are taking them to the library, you might want to create a list of library skills that you want them to learn and then create a certificate of achievement to give them for learning those skills at the library. This is MrNussbaum.com, and this is another excellent resource. The ads pop up, but you can see the variety of subjects, and it teaches so much, and especially if you're teaching them about the state that you live in or different areas that you may not find in other curriculum. This one, he has such a great variety of things that you can add to your schooling. And I love this website. So I just wanted to show you this one as well. And another thing is homeschool support groups, especially if you want your students to go to college and you're trying to get them a high school diploma and you're trying to figure out exactly what you're doing and you need assistance. If you join a homeschool support group, they may have homeschooled for years and they may have a lot of knowledge that they share with other people. They may be sharing books. Maybe you have books you want to share with other families or donate to other families that are homeschooling, and that would be a great place to find it. They may have outings and field trips they go on that you could go on with them. I don't know about the co-ops. I've never done the co-op thing, but you can look into it if you like. I've heard it's a lot of work and very tiring, but you never know. But that's another idea. And this I added this because if you want to know how to write objectives, I don't know why I have a hard time pronouncing that. If you want to learn how to write objectives compared to writing goals, then you can see how to do this here. So and there it is. So, and these are some sample verbs for learning when you go to write objectives for your students, so that you have words for ideas, so that might help you. So I thought I would throw this in there too because I had ran across this website. So anyway, I hope that this helps you if you're trying to homeschool in the state of Pennsylvania. And remember, if you have any legal questions or concerns, contact the Hslda and see if you can become a member, because they might help you with that. And I hope this helps someone, and I greatly appreciate you watching my video. Have a great day. Bye-bye.